Okay, so now we're ready to put the arms in, and what you need are 2 buttons. You can either use a 4-hole or a 2-hole button. I have a 2-hole button here. You need a long doll needle that will go through the full width of the body, just at shoulder level there. That's what you need along. And you need to thread it with a long thread because it has to come back and forth through the body at least twice. Now I have strong thread. If you have a buttonhole twist thread, you could use that. If not, whatever thread you've been using to stitch up is absolutely fine, as long as it's polyester, because it won't break. Now, the thread, you're going to leave a bit of a tail. So make a good knot about 3 or 4 inches up. You don't worry about that, you won't see that. Up the length of the thread, and put that to one side. To help me hold the arms in position, I put a little bit of elastic. Pop your arms in. Now usually with the little thumb is up. And this is the benefit of the elastic, because you need to be like an octopus otherwise to try and position this, or to get some idea of how to position it. So position your arms, just check that more or less they're shoulder length. You'll probably find that the seams will be more or less in line, and you want to be down at least a finger width to give her a bit of a shoulder. If not, if you make any clothing, it might not sit on her. So it's about 1 centimetre or less off the table, and with a piece of elastic that will just hold those in place, so you'll be well able to manage. So I also marked on the armhole, on the arm here, just a dot in the centre, just to give me a start. And I'm going to go through the body here to the other side, and I had a matching dot on this side just to give me some idea where to come out. And pull that through. Take your button and come back straight through, and just check that the arms are more or less aligned as you do that. And you come through on this side here, so just check that they're more or less level and in the spot where you want them to be. Now this one is just acting the maggot at the minute. Now, there we go. And I made the mistake of twisting around the button. So that's a rookie mistake. So I'm going to start again. So we'll pause the video. Okay, so I'll take up now, and I'll be careful this time to make sure I get the needle through the button, straight through to the other side. And I'm just going to check the position is more or less level. Into the other button. And just go back straight across. And this is the gift of the long needle. You'll be more or less able to line up your stitches to hold your buttons in place. And my buttons might be just a little bit big, but that's okay. Now, because I'm using the strong thread as well, I don't have to go back and forth so much. Now, I'm going to pull it in a little bit also to give her a little bit of a shoulder shape. And now I'm just going to, I don't have to go back again to the other side. You'll see how quickly and this is where the gift of the knot. So I'm just careful now to bring this through and pull it and just check that looks fine. Now, using the long needle is very awkward. So I take my 2 ends, and this is where I had the knot at the beginning, if you remember. I left a tail. Tie that off, and I can remove this elastic now. Tie that off. And again, I'm a bit, as you know, belt and braces. So just do a twist around on itself. Double knot to tie it off securely. And then thread up your needle, a big needle. with your threads, and as you would maybe if you were quilting, you'd bury the threads with a little French knot. There we go. Just make it a little knot and just bury that into the felt. Do that with both of them. And then you can clip that and do the same with the other thread. Now, I felted a little heart on. You could stitch a little heart on, you could stitch a heart button on earlier on, whatever you like. Just adds a little bit of personality, a little bit of personal touch. Bury the second thread. And then the last thing we will look at maybe is, next is the eye and the nose. Now, so our little Luna now has all her limbs in place and she's looking quite pretty. So we just get eyes and a little nose sorted out for her next time round.